Hare Krishna, today we will start chapter 26 of the 10th Canto, Wonderful Krishna. Om Ajnanatimandasya Chinanjala Shanakya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shigurave Namah Shitchetanyamanobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svamrupakadamayam dadati svapadantikam Vandeham Shiyuda Padakamanam Shiyom Vaishnavamsha Shirupam Jagajatam Saganaragnatam Vitam Tam Sajivan Sadvaitam Savrutam Parjana Saitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagalita Shivishakam Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chatpate Gopesha Gopka Kanta Radha Kanta Namastate Tapta Kanchna Gaurangi Radhe Vindavaneshwari Vrishabhana Sutadevi Panamama Hripriye Vancha Kalpta Visha Kripasan Vivisha Patnam Pavanvyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namah Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pistaya Bhutali Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paskachayita Satarane Srila Prabhupada Ki. I will start with reading the chapter summary. In this chapter, Nanda Maharaj describes Krishna's opulences to the coward man as Nanda and heard from them from Garga Muni. That's summary in one sentence, and now more detailed. The coward man, unaware of Lord Krishna's power, were amazed to see his various extraordinary activities. The man approached Nanda Maharaj and told him that after seeing how Krishna, a boy only 7 years old, had lifted a mountain, and how he had previously killed the demoness Putana and generated extreme attraction in the hearts of everyone in Vrindavan, the man had become doubtful and bewildered about Sri Krishna could possibly Sri Krishna could possibly have taken birth in the unsuitable environment of a coward community. Nanda Maharaj, by relating to them what Garga Muni had told him, Nanda replied by relating to them what Garga Muni had told him about Krishna. Garga Muni had said that in the previous 3 ages, Nanda's boy had manifested himself in white, red and yellow forms, whereas now in the Dwapara age he had assumed the darkest blue form, Krishna Rupa, because he descended as the son of Vasudeva. One of his many names is Vasudeva, and he has innumerable other names indicating his many qualities and activities. Garga Muni had predicted that Krishna would prevent all sorts of catastrophes in Gokul, spread unlimited auspiciousness, and increase the ecstasy of the coward men and women. In a previous age, he had provided protection for the saintly Brahmins when they were harassed by low-class dacoits, and there was no proper ruler in society. as the demons in the higher planets can never defeat the demigods who have Lord Krishna on their side. So no enemy can ever defeat those who love Krishna. In his affinity for his devotees and in his opulence and power, Krishna is just like Lord Narayan himself. Overjoyed and awestruck by Garga Muni's statements, the coward man concluded that Krishna must be an empowered representative of the Supreme Lord Narayan. Thus they worshipped him and Nanda Maharaj. Now we will start to read the Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's
Shall I read, Prabhu? Maharaj?
Please. Yeah, you can read.
Yes, Maharaj. Sukadeva Goswami said, the cowherd men were astonished when they saw Krishna's activities, such as lifting Govardhana. Unable to understand his transcendental potency, they approached Nanda Maharaj and spoke as follows.
You can also read the purport, yeah.
Shall I read Prabhu purport also?
Yes.
Yes. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur explains this verse as follows. During Lord Krishna's pastime of lifting Sri Govardhana hill, the cowherd men simply enjoyed the spiritual bliss of the Lord's activities without analyzing them. But afterwards, when they had returned to their homes, perplexity arose within their hearts. Thus they thought, now we have directly seen child Krishna lift Govardhana hill, and we remember how he killed Potana and other demons, extinguished the forest fire, and so on. At the time, we thought that these extraordinary acts occurred because of a benediction from the Brahmanas or because of Nanda Maharaj's great fortune, or that perhaps this boy had achieved the mercy of Lord Narayana and was thus empowered by him.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So they thought maybe he's empowered by Lord Narayan. They did not think him to be God. It's one of us, but empowered. So, moment, because it's a long purport. I will read the next part. But all these presumptions are false, because an ordinary 7-year-old boy could never hold up the king of mountains for 7 whole days. Krishna is not a human, he must be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But on the other hand, child Krishna loves it when we coddle him, and he becomes morose when we, his uncles and well-wishers, simply boldly coward men, do not give him attention. He appears to be hungry and thirsty, steals yogurt and milk, sometimes plays tricks, tells lies, chatters childishly, and tends the calves. If he's actually the Supreme Lord, why would he do these things? Don't they indicate that he's an ordinary human child? So that they have these both considerations, and it's going from one side to the other in their minds. That they're lifting Govardhan, that's not the activity of an ordinary human being. It's not an ordinary human being, but then he steals yogurt, he lies, and so on. So they conclude we are totally unable to establish the truth of his identity. Therefore, let us go and inquire from the highly intelligent king of Braj, Nanda Maharaj, and he shall free us from our doubts. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, the coward men thus made up their minds, and they entered Nanda Maharaj's great assembly hall. So yes, that can go to the next verse. Yeah, Govinda Dev Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. Maharaj, actually, I have a very genuine question which is striking my mind since long. Vasudev, form of the Lord, or the name Vasudev of the Lord, is all pervading feature of the Lord. It had been explained. Also, in the four quadruple explanation, Vasudev, Sankarsana, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. All these names are also appearing in the first quadruple form of the first quadruple explanation of the Lord. So, how can we assimilate in our understanding that Vasudev, the form of Vasudev is all pervading, or the form of Vasudev has any spiritual relevance?
No, Krishna is Vasudev by his feature of the super soul. He pervades everything. And whether it's the Vasudev of the Chaturvyuha, Vasudev Sankarshan, Pradyumna Aniruddha, that still Vasudev Sankarshan, Pradyumna Aniruddha, from this first Chaturvyuha, from Sankarshan comes the second Chaturvyuha, Vasudev Sankarshan, Pradyumna Aniruddha, and then from this Sankarshan, the second one, comes the Mahapurushas, the incarnations responsible for the creation. And then you have Mahavishnu, Karanodakasha Vishnu, who starts the creation, and then when the universes are formed, he enters every creation as Garbhodakashaya Vishnu. And then from Garbhodakashaya Vishnu comes the Kshirodakashaya Vishnu, the super soul. And the super soul is all-pervading Vasudev. So, whatever, all the incarnations before are also Vasudev, but because it comes from them. So that's the point.
Yes, yes, Maharaj. Thank you very much for a very fantastic explanation. But my doubt still pertains to the understanding that whether Vasudev form of the Lord is all pervading feature of the Lord, or it is because he is the son of Vasudev. That is the only understanding.
Both of them. Both are true.
Okay.
In the past time, he's the son of Vasudev, but Vasudev in Sanskrit has different meanings, and one of the other meanings it's all pervading, and that's also true. So both are true.
Okay.
There's the great Sanskrit language that so many words have different meanings, and different meanings who are true at the same time. And that's why our previous acharyas many times analyze the Sanskrit words for their different meanings. Very interesting, because the compiler of the Bhagavatam, that Vyasadeva, he was specialist in these things, how to explain it. And sometimes Sanskrit verses have different meanings. One meaning and another meaning, and they are both true. And Mother Saraswati plays with that. and many times demons of Krishna, they speak Sanskrit, but it has two meanings. And it's very funny sometimes. Anyway, that's good. Let's continue. Can someone read text 2 and the one-line purport?
Text 2. The cowherdman said, since this boy performs such extraordinary activities, how could he warrant a birth among worldly men like us? A birth that for him would seem contemptible. Purport. Vishnu Chakravarti Pad explains, since this boy has performed such astonishing activities, he can't be an ordinary boy. He must be God. But if that is if that is so, how could he be born in a coward family and become the object of criticism?
Thank you. Yeah. So even the lesser avatars are not born in such low family as ours, but to speak the outstanding avatars. Yeah, Jiva Goswami says the same. And now we have text 3. Who can read text 3? And the
Yes,
yeah.
I will read, Prabhu. Text 3. How could this 7-year-old boy playfully hold up the great hill Govardhana with one hand, just as a mighty elephant holds up a lotus flower? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura,
Please continue.
if this child is not the Lord, how could he perform such astonishing feats? How did he, who is only 7-year-old, remain holding vibrant Govardhana in one hand for 7 days like an elephant holding a lotus?
Yeah.
Jiva,
Yeah. Continue reading Jiva Goswami.
Jiva Goswami. He is only 7 years old. He held up with only one hand, not even changing hands, the heaviest varam of mountains, and so casually. And he held it up and remained in that position. How could he do this? It was like an elephant lifting a lotus. Normal child. In Vishnu Purana, it is described that he began to herd the cows in his 7th year of coming to Vrindavana in the summer.
Yeah, you can try it. You lift your right hand in the air and keep it there for a minute. It's difficult to hold it there.
Yes, yes.
So, but Krishna is smiling and he stands there for 7 days. Yeah. So this is from the Vishnu Purana.
Okay.
The 2 boys, protector of the universe, in time becoming 7 years old in Vraj, began herding the cows. Anyway, there's a calculation of his age here, but these are technical details. Thus, Vishnu Purana describes a pastime in a different kalpa, because in the Vishnu Purana speaks about a pastime in a different kalpa where Krishna was 8 years old. Anyway, this solves the contradiction. According to Bhagavatam, Krishna and Balaram were still in their Pauganda age and when Krishna lifted Govardhan. So yes, Krishna comes every day of Brahma. The Vishnu Purana tells a story of Krishna's pastimes in another kalpa, in another day he came. Very interesting. So text 4, can someone read text 4 in the small purport?
Mahaprabhu, are you comfortable for reading? Mahaprabhu, Prabhu.
Yes, I will read. As a mere infant who had oddly yet opened his eyes, he drank the breast milk of the powerful demoness Potana, and then sucked out her very life air as well, just as the force of time sucks out the youth's one's body. Purport. The word Vaya in this verse indicates youth or lifespan in general. With irresistible power, time takes away our life. And the time is actually Lord Krishna himself. Thus, in the case of powerful witch Putana, Lord Krishna accelerated the time process and within an instant withdrew the duration of her life. Here, the cowherd man mean to say, how could a mere infant who could barely open his eyes so easily kill a very powerful demoness?
Yeah.
Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura.
Yeah.
How could he? Okay.
Yeah, I put it a little higher. Yeah, can read.
How could he, when he was a baby with half closed eyes, sucked out of her life air with the milk? Half closed eyes indicates that this was done unseen by others, just as unnoticed. Time sucks up youth from the body.
Yes.
Jiva Goswami.
Yeah, thus Jiva Goswami says, by all the astonishing activities, birth in a lowly family could not be suitable. So the coward boys thinks we are of a low birth. We are of a low birth. Although, in terms of consciousness, they are in prema, but they think I'm the lowest. That text 65. Yeah. Someone can read only the translation.
Once, when only 3 months old, little Krishna was crying and kicking up his feet as he lay beneath a huge cart. Then the cart fell and turned upside down simply because it was propped by the tip of his stool.
So,
Krishna Chakravarti explains, how could he,
yeah,
when
please
only
read.
3 months old, moving? Yes, Maharaj?
Go on. Please read.
Maharaj, please excuse me. What
Please go on, read.
Okay, Maharaj, thank you.
How
could he, when only 3 months old, moving his feet upwards, strike the cart and make it turn over? The collapse. Then Jiva Goswami explains, his turning over the cart at that age was most astonishing. This showed his great power. A month old, 2 months old, 3 months, all these are definitely astonishing. Second canto, overturned the cart with his foot when he was 3 months old.
Yeah, this is a quote from the second canto. So they are remembering all these childhood pastimes, but Krishna did that. This were all wonderful activities which a merely human being cannot do. That so yes. Text 6, we come to Trinavarta. Can someone read the translation and the purport?
At the age of 1, while sitting peacefully, he was taken up into the sky by the demon Trinavarta. But baby Krishna grabbed the demon's neck, causing him great pain and thus killed him. Purport. The cowherd man who loved Krishna as an ordinary child were astonished by all these activities. A newborn infant cannot hardly kill a powerful witch, and one would hardly think that a 1-year-old baby would kill a demon who has kidnapped him and carried him up into the sky. But Krishna did all of these wonderful things, and the cowherd man was enhancing their love for him by remembering and discussing his activities.
Yeah, that is Machita Machata Prana Bodha Bashpa Parashpram Katyan Samam Nitya Tushanti Sharamantisha. They are just blissful, remembering all these activities. That is, yeah. So Vishwanath Chakravarti says, how could he who, when 1 year old, was stolen by Trinavarta, kill the demon? Jiva Goswami, he was just sitting. This indicates his very young age. He could not move at all on his feet. He afflicted the demon by holding his throat. That was Trinavarta, and now the Arjun trees, pulling down the Arjun trees. Can someone read, please?
His mother tied him with ropes to a mortar because she had caught him stealing butter. Then, crawling on his hands, she dragged the mortar between a pair of original trees and pulled them down. Purport: the two original trees were old and thick, and they towered above little Krishna's courtyard. Nevertheless, they were pulled down quite easily by the naughty child.
Yeah. Yeah, but when that was on the day of the pastime of the Damodar pastime, that the day of the festival of the lights, how do you call it,
Deepavali.
please?
Deepavali.
Diwali. Yeah, it was on Diwali that
On
day,
Diwali, yes.
and all the cowherd boys, elder cowherd boys and so on, they were visiting Upananda, the father, the elder brother of Nanda Maharaj. And when they came back from their family visit, from far away they saw these big Arjun trees falling with a crack down. And then they found Krishna there. But they could not believe Krishna had done that. No way Krishna could have done that, they thought. But now they remember, oh, yes, he pulled them down with this mortar, these Arjun trees. So they remember all what happened. Vishwanath Chakravarti said, how could he who was tied up because he had stolen butter crawl around and knock down the two Arjun trees? Jiva Goswami said, moving by his hand, Baobhyam, he made the trees fall. This indicates that a lot of strength was needed to pull the mortar. It was a big mortar. This mortar was bigger than Krishna. It was a public mortar used by many families, and it was heavy. That text, no, Bakasur. Bakasur is a family member of Bhutan. Can someone read 8?
Okay. Another time, when Krishna was tending the cows in the forest together with Balrama and the cowherd boys, the demon Bakasura came with the intention of killing Krishna. But Krishna seized this inimical demon by the mouth and tore him apart.
Yes.
Vishwanath Chakravarti. How could he take the mouth of a Baka demon and starting with the mouth, tear him into two?
Yeah. That's a question. Shiva Goswami says, he told about Baka in the presence of Balaram and other boys. This shows his strength. His strength was greater than that of the others with him. He tore him apart starting from the mouth. So Baka was born in Tamas. Baka was an enemy because he desired to kill Krishna at any opportunity since he was born in Tamas. But he was especially eager to kill Krishna, since Krishna had killed his sister of Putana. So he was the brother of Putana. Text 9. Can someone read text 9?
Desiring to kill Krishna, the demon Vatsya disguised himself as a cow and entered among Krishna's calves. But Krishna killed the demon and using his body injured the spot of knocking kapitha fruits down from the trees.
So
Jiva Goswami explains, the demon desired to kill Krishna along with Balaram. Krishna killed him casually and by grasping his feet and whirling him around made fruit fall from the tree. His great strength is indicated from throwing the demon into the tree top.
yes, that when Vatsasur entered the other calves, that Balaram And Krishna looked at each other and said, "Oh, do you know this calf?" So they knew that a demon has entered the calves. So text 10. Now we come at the Nukasur. Can someone read the translation and the purport?
Yes, Prabhu. Together with Lord Balaram, Krishna killed the jackass, demon, and all his friends, thereby securing the safety of the Talavan forest, which abounded with fully ripened palm fruits. Also, purport, Maharaj?
Yes.
Purport. Long ago, the powerful demons Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyaksh were born of the goddess Diti. Therefore, demons are commonly called Daityas or Daityas, meaning descendants of Diti. Dhenukasura, the ash demon, terrorized the Tal forest with his friends, but Sri Krishna and Sri Balaram killed them just as a modern government kill terrorists who harass the innocent public.
Yes. Vishvanatha Bhakti Thakur says, Da Balaram killed the Nukasur. In this verse it is said that Krishna along with Balaram killed him. This gives prominence to Krishna's activities. Yes, because they are remembering the wonderful activities of Krishna. Now, can someone read text 11 and the purport of Shiva Goswami?
After arranging for the mighty Lord Balarama to kill the terrible demon Pralamba, Krishna saved Vraja's cowherd boys and their animals from a forest fire. Through Balarama, he had Pralamba killed. This shows Krishna's prominence. Why did he have Balarama and not others kill Pralamba? Balarama possessed great strength by Krishna's influence. In his presence, no one else was suitable to kill Pralamba.
Yeah. That the demon Pralamba and the forest fire. So the demon Pralamba was killed by Balaram. And the forest fire, after this, because this happened at the same day, then the cows, because they were searching for fresh grass, they entered more and more deeper in the forest, and they lost the cows. And then they tried to search them by following the path the cows went, and the cows were crying because they were in thorny bushes and so on. So they guided them out of there and brought them back on the road. But then suddenly a forest fire surrounded them. And this forest was not so far from Bandirvan, where there's a big banyan tree. Bandirvan. And Krishna told them, just close your eyes. And Krishna, while they closed their eyes, swallowed the fire and transported them to Bandiravan. And they were again with the cows at the banyan tree of Bandiravan, far from the forest fire. Krishna, he told them to close their eyes. Why? One of the reasons is many years before that, in his Damodar pastime, or before even, Krishna's friend said to Mother Yasoda that he had eaten dirt. And so Mother Yasoda asked to open his mouth to verify if he had eaten dirt. And she saw the whole entire universe. So, but Krishna said, yes, they are saying that I've eaten dirt because they lost the game. But Krishna, our Acharya said, Krishna remembered that, and that he asked them to close their eyes, because otherwise they would see how he would swallow the fire and tell Mother Yasoda that he had eaten fire. Anyway, beautiful pastimes, so much rasa. Text 12. Kalia, another famous pastime. Can someone read?
Krishna chastised the most poisonous serpent Kaliya, and after humbling him, he drove him forcibly from the lake of the Yamuna. In this way, the Lord made the water of that river free of the snake's powerful poison. How could this little boy destroy the pride of the most poisonous king of the snakes so that he left the lake?
Yeah, that was dancing on the hoods. Krishna subdued Kaliya while destroying his pride by dancing on his hoods, using them as a platform for dancing, jumping from one to another. He danced and subdued the Kaliya by dancing on his heads. And all the poison came out. That Kaliya's wealth was the accumulated poison. That was his wealth. And he had to get rid of it. Yes, Govinda Dev.
Maharaj, actually, I have a question. Yes, Maharaj, as we are studying Shastras and by examining the Surup and Tatastha Lakhan of the Lord, we are understanding who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, the denizens of Braja were bound by the illusory potency of the Lord to recognize him that he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But Shastra would be prevailing in Braja Vrindavan so that they could have read it and they could have known that these are the activities which have been performed by the, which can only be performed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, was Shastra not prevalent in Braja Vrindavan in those days, Maharaj?
Well, these coward boys, they knew about Krishna and his wonderful activities and so on. That, and we will see they may accept Krishna is God, that, and they speak a few days about that, but then they forget. Because their bhav, their prema is so strong, and the prema is important, that knowledge, they don't care about these things. That important for them is their relationship with Krishna. They want to be in the higher knowledge. The highest knowledge is prema. And they don't want to come down from this prema. That it doesn't go. That because in some way, Garga Muni had said to Nanda Maharaj, yes, he's Narayan, but he did not translate it as my son is Narayan. No, he translated it, my son is empowered by Narayan, but it's my son. That So no way to convince Nanda Maharaj that Krishna is God. No, he's empowered. That's okay. But he's my son. Because his love for Krishna is most important. Krishna has spoken in the previous chapter, all this karma vat. They didn't care for all these things. They just wanted to please Krishna. That's their goal. So that's really intelligence. But that intelligence we can only get when we come to that platform of prema. That then we get to know important is our love for Krishna. Krishna is pleased by our love. And what all the other things that don't please Krishna in that way, they are secondary, not so important. Krishna may be God or not. Who cares? We love him. That's the mood of the Vrajavasis. And that's the highest knowledge. Highest knowledge is to remain on that higher platform of consciousness always and not coming down. In 1996, I was in Mayapur in the summer, and it was August. It was quite very hot, too hot for the time of the year. But anyway, my Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Maharaj, he was leading us into a Navadvip Mandal Parikram. And at the beginning of the Parikram, he said, now you have arrived in the spiritual world. That you remain with your consciousness fixed on Krishna, chanting the holy name or hearing his pastimes. Don't come down again. Don't come down again. And Nanda Maharaj says that also. He wants to be in the most intense love of Krishna, and I will not come down from that. That's my relationship with Krishna, and that's important. It's inconceivable for us to understand that. But yes, how could this little boy destroy the pride of the most poisonous king of the snakes, so that he left the lake? Krishna subdued Kaliya while destroying his pride. Yeah. 13. Now they will ask Nanda Maharaj. Someone can read the translation and the purport.
Dear Nanda, how is it that we and all other residents of Vraja cannot give up our constant affection for your son? And how is it that he is so spontaneously attached to us? Purport. The very word Krishna means the all-attractive one. The residents of Vrindavan could not give up their constant love, anuraga, for Lord Krishna. Their attitude toward him was not particularly theistic because they were unsure whether he was God or not. But he attracted all their love precisely because as God, he is all attractive person, the supreme object of love.
So in other words, Krishna is all attractive. God is all attractive. And that is a feature of the Supreme Lord. But but Krishna is most attracted to his pure devotees. And he reciprocates with them. He plays with them, he engages them in service. So many pastimes. You can continue reading the next paragraph.
The cowherd man also asked, how is it that young Krishna feels such constant love for us? In fact, the Supreme Lord loves all the living beings who are eternally his children. At the end of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna dramatically declares his affection for Arjun and urges Arjun to reciprocate that love by surrendering to him. Sri Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his prayers to Lord Krishna, states, एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवानामपि तुर्देव मे दृश्यमिह जनेनानुरागा. My Lord, you are so merciful towards me, but I am so unfortunate that love for you has not awakened within me. Siksha Ashtakam 2. In this statement, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also uses the word anuraga. Our misfortune is that we cannot reciprocate the anurag or loving affection that the Lord feels for us. Although we are infinitesimal and insignificant and the Lord is infinitely attractive, somehow we do not give him our love. We must accept responsibility for this foolish decision, since to surrender to God or not in the essential expression of our free will.
Thank you. Can someone read the last paragraph? Someone else, please.
The Krishna consciousness movement provides an efficient systematic program to help conditioned souls revive their original blissful consciousness, which is love of God, Krishna consciousness. The intricacies of Krishna consciousness are so wonderful that even Krishna's eternal associates, the residents of Vrindavan, are astonished by them, as shown by these verses.
Ja, Vishwanath Bhakti Thakur. Thou is your child, not ours. Our attraction is to him is very strong. Not only do we have parental affection for him, not only do the boys have friendly affection for him, and not only do all the male and female animals and birds in the forest have affection for him, but that affection is increasing in newer ways at every moment. We cannot give up that affection because it is natural. One has more affection for one's own body than wealth and children, and more affection for one's soul than one's body, and more affection for Paramatma than one's own soul. Thus Krishna must be Paramatma. Such affection could not be possible if he were a human. But if you consider this Paramatma, then how it is possible for Paramatma to have such natural attraction towards the inhabitants of Raj and the animals of the forest, for Paramatma is self-satisfied. Being self-satisfied, he should be indifferent to everything. He would not have such attraction to us who are absorbed in material life. So these are all considerations that how is it that everyone is attracted to him? That's Shiva Goswami. The attraction of him for us is natural, starting from Krishna's birth. Though we are unqualified, we have attraction for him. This is praise, since he has all wonderful qualities. Perhaps he is Atma of all beings, the soul, and we are the body. Sanatan Goswami. They discuss among themselves. They address Nanda with great affection, explaining their affection for Krishna. If he is the Lord, even then by his show of powers our bhakti increases. Natural anuraga arises with restriction of fear and respect. Though we directly witness his powers, we cannot give up our affection from him. So they cannot come down from their prema. With that, because it's natural, outpatika. So it's natural for the living entities to love Krishna. That's natural. Like heat arising from fire. Yes. The truth is this, is both avatari and avatar, endowed with unlimited powers, while performing extraordinary childhood pastimes, is most inconceivable, having contrary qualities. He is a special form of Bhagavan. Can someone read text 14?
In the other hand, this boy is only 7 years old, and on the other, we see that he has lifted the great hill Govardhan. Therefore, O King of Braja, a doubt about your son arises within us.
Yes.
Vishnu Chakra,
No, it's okay. So,
Jiva Goswami.
Shiva Goswami, because of his powers and his being the shelter and object of prema, he cannot be a child. He must be a devata, and among the devatas he must be extraordinary, since one does not such things in other children. So maybe he's a devata, they think. Because he lifted Govardhan, he cannot be a child. Because of two opposing qualities in one person, we have doubt. So he's a sweet child, and all this attraction and this affection, and he does these superhuman things which a human cannot do. Good. Text 15. Nanda Maharaj is going to reply.
Nanda Maharaja replied, O cowherd man, just hear my words and let all your doubts concerning my son be gone. Some time ago, Gargamuni spoke to me as follows about this boy. Purport. Srila Sridhara Swami comments, the words previously heard from Gargachari awakened Nanda Maharaja to the truth about Krishna. And thus, by Nanda's constantly remembering his activities, all thoughts about their being impossible ceased in him. Now he is instructing the cowherd man with these same words.
Yeah, he's repeating the words of Nandacharya. I will relieve your doubts by reciting what I heard from Gargamuni. Narayan has entered my son. That's what he thinks. Narayan has entered my son by the force of my performance of pious activities, to deliver me most mercifully from danger. So he thinks it's by the force of my past activities. Jiva Goswami, Ganga had not directly stated Krishna's supreme position of power. Therefore, Nanda Maharaj interpreted it as, of your doubts about your son should disappear. To increase their affection for Krishna, he identifies Krishna as their son as well as his. So by repeating words like Arbake and Kumaram indicates that Krishna is none other than your son. So that is what Nanda Maharaj has understood. Text 16. Can someone read the translation and the purport?
Hare Krishna. Garg Muni had said, your son Krishna appears as an incarnation in every millennium. In the past, he assumed three different colors, white, red, and yellow, and now he has appeared in blackish color. Purport. This and the next 6 verses, 17 through 22, are taken from the 8th chapter of this canto, in which Garg Muni instructs Nanda Maharaj about Nanda's son Krishna. The translation found herein for these verses are based on those of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. In the chapter 8, where the verses originally appear, the reader will find extensive purports by Srila Prabhupada.
Chapter 8, verses 17 to 22 is repeating here. Okay. So they were aware of Garga's words previously, for after the killing of Baka they said, the words of persons in full knowledge of Brahman never become untrue. It is very wonderful that whatever Gargamuni predicted we are now actually experience in all detail. Someone can read 17.
For many reasons, this beautiful son of yours sometimes appeared previously as the son of Vasudeva. Therefore, those who are learned sometimes call this child Vasudeva.
Yeah. The next one.
For this reason, for this son of yours, there are many forms and names according to his transcendental qualities and activities. These are known to me, but people in general do not understand them.
Now, 19.
To increase the transcendental bliss of the cowherd men of Gokula, this child will always act auspiciously for you, and by his grace only you will surpass all difficulties.
Surpass all difficulties. And now, 20.
O Nanda Maharaja, as recorded in history, when there was an irregular, incapable government, Indra having been dethroned, and when honest people were being harassed and disturbed by thieves, this child appeared in order to curb their rogues and to protect the people and enable them to flourish.
21. And purport.
Demons cannot harm their demigods, who always have Lord Vishnu on their side. Similarly, any person or group attached to all auspicious Krishna cannot be defeated by enemies. Purport. Srila Prabhupada has actually indicated in this connection that just as Lord Krishna's associates could not be defeated by Krishna, so his modern day devotees will not be defeated by their demonic opponents. Nor will the Lord's devotees be defeated by the internal enemies, the lusty, the materialistic senses.
Yes. Okay, one moment. This 22. Yeah, therefore.
Therefore, O Nanda Maharaja, this child of yours is as good as Narayana. In his transcendental qualities, opulence, name, fame, and influence, he is exactly like Narayana. Thus, you should not be astonished by his activities.
And the purport?
Purport. Nanda here reports to this cowherd man the concluding remarks of Gargamuni, who spoke at the secret birth ceremony of Lord Krishna.
So, as good as Narayan, exactly like Narayan.
Yes.
So, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he comments, Nanda wished to remove their present realization of Krishna's lordship and increase their understanding of him as their son, brother, and friend. So he wants not only himself, but all the others also in the higher energy of prema. So therefore, in repeating Garga's words, he does not say your son, but this boy. It's also your boy. So that the inhabitants would feel that Krishna was not only his son, but theirs as well. Though they had seen his powers, they should not give up their affection and should continue to give blessings to him daily. Like Narayan means that Narayan's power had entered Krishna, not that Krishna was Narayan. It is just like the jewel named Surya Kanta, which is called thus because of some likeness to the sun. The child was not God, nor was he an ordinary human, but someone who could perform extraordinary deeds. That was their conclusion. This great personality has come as the ornament of our family lineage. Thus, at the conclusion of his statement, Garga said his activities should not be bewildering you. Because of his wonderful activities, you should not think of him as God. You should make him the object of your compassion and by blessing him, live a long life. You should not be neutral to him. So, Nanda, he concludes that Garga Muni said me all these things to say, you have to protect him well and take care of him as your son. Then text 23.
And the Maharaj continued. After God spoke these words to me and returned home, I began to consider that Krishna, who keeps us free from trouble, is actually an explanation of Lord Narayan. Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur, I consider him to be invested with Narayan, invested with Narayan's power. Narayanasya Amsa. who can remove our suffering.
Yeah, thank you. Shiva Goswami, since I'm his father, from that time I consider him to be like Narayan. I speculate that he's empowered by Narayan. Sanatana Goswami, though Krishna was actually superior to Narayan, he is said to be similar to be his Hamsa. To increase affection, his real position of power was hidden. And now, Nanda Maharaj, Sukadev Goswami speaks now. Can someone read translation and purport?
Sukadeva Goswami continued, having heard Nanda Maharaja relate the statements of Gargamuni, the residents of Vrindavana became enlightened. Their perplexity was gone, and they worshipped Nanda and Lord Krishna with great respect. Purport also, Prabhu?
Yeah, read the purport also.
Srila Jiva Goswami explains that in this verse, the word Anarchuhu indicates that the residents of Vrindavana honored Nanda and Krishna with such offerings as fragrances, garlands, and garments brought from their homes. Sri Viswanath Chakravarti Thakura adds that the residents of Vrindavana honored Nanda and Krishna with loving offerings of jewels and gold coins. Apparently, Lord Krishna was playing in the forest when this conversation took place. So, when he returned home, the residents of Vrindavana encouraged him by decorating him with beautiful yellow garments, necklaces, armlets, earrings, and crowns, and by shouting, all glories to the jewel of Vrindavan.
Jai. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. They honored Nanda by offering gifts of gold coins, cloth, and jewels. When Krishna returned from the forest in the evening, they took care of Krishna by ornamenting him with yellow cloth, necklaces, bracelets, earrings, and crown, saying, "Glory to the jewel of Braja Bhumi. May you live a long life." Yes, that's according to Parasar. Here what follows. When Indra had gone, the cowards, on seeing that Krishna had lifted Govardhan, spoke affectionately to Krishna, who removes all calamity. O Lord, we are most fortunate since you have saved us and the cows from the greatest danger by lifting the hill. Your play as a child is unequaled, but being a coward is to be condemned. O child, how can your attractive actions be described? You subdued Kalia in the water and killed Denuka. You lifted Govardhan. Now we have doubts in our mind. We swear at the feet of Krishna, O unlimited prowess. It is true. We cannot consider that you are human on seeing such powers. All of Raj, including women and children, have affection for you. O Keshav, even the Devatas cannot perform such acts. Since you have such powers as a child, it is not proper to stay among us. O unlimited Krishna, these doubts give rise to doubt. And you are a Devata, a demon, a Yaksha, or Gandharva. Thinking about this, we conclude that you are our friend. We offer our respect to you. So from the Vishnu Purana, when the coward boy spoke in this way, wise Krishna was silent for a moment and then spoke with affectionate anger. O cowards, if you are not ashamed of having a relationship with me, or if I'm praiseworthy, then why think about this at all? If you have affection for me, and if I'm praised by you, you should think to me as your closest friends. I'm not a Devata, a Gandharva, Yaksha or demon. I've been born as your friend. You should not think otherwise. All of you, having great prowess, think of me in this way. But I should not be despised. I'm your relative and friend. If I'm worthy of your praise as a friend and have powers like a devata, what is the use of thinking too much about this? If you are merciful to me. That's what Krishna says. So, text 25. 25. Can someone read the translation of 25?
Indra became angry when his sacrifice was disrupted, and thus he caused rain and hail to fall on Gokula, accompanied by lightning and powerful winds, all of which brought great sufferings to the cowherds, animals, and women there. When Lord Krishna, who is by nature always compassionate, saw the condition of those who had only him as their shelter, he smiled broadly and lifted Govardhan Hill with one hand, just as a small child picks up a mushroom to play with it. Holding upon the hill, he protected the cowherd community. May he, Govind, the lord of cows and destroyer of Indra's false pride, be pleased with us.
So read also the
Purport.
purport, yeah.
The word Indra means lord or king. Thus, in this verse, Krishna is pointedly called Indrogavam, the lord of the cows. In fact, he is the real Indra, the real ruler of everyone, and the demigods are merely his servants representing his supreme will. It is apparent from this and the previous verse in this chapter that Lord Krishna's lifting of Govardhana hill made quite an impression on the simple cowherd men of Vrindavan, and they repeatedly remembered this feat. Certainly, anyone who soberly and objectively considers the activities of young Krishna will surrender to him and become his eternal devotee in loving devotional service. That is the rational conclusion, and one should come to after reading this chapter.
Yeah. Certainly anyone who soberly and objectively considers the activities of the young Krishna will surrender to him and become his devotee in loving devotional service. Loving devotional service is the goal. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. O King Parikshit, may that Krishna who lifted Govardhan and protected the inhabitants of Vraj from the disturbance caused by hunger, hail and rain arising from Indra's wrath, who was expert in starting the worship of Govardhan and cut the pride of the devatas, be pleased with us. In this way, Sukadev, by praying for Krishna's mercy, indicates that Parikshit should apply this to himself, realizing the great affection they had for him as the highest human goal, understanding that such love was the highest taste, and it was solely dependent upon his mercy. Sukadev prays for such love, and that is what we should do at the end of this chapter, praying for this, to attain this love. All the other things are less important. As soon as he was born, Veera began to have enemies and undertook many battles. Krishna had many enemies since he was born. In the form of Govardhan, he easily consumed piles of food. He stopped the attacking clouds. He held up the mountain easily. This is from the Rig Veda. In the Rig Veda also mentioned that, Sanatana Goswami. This verse is also meant to appease Parikshit, who was overcome with prema, and a prayer so that people of Vraj who were surrendered to Krishna could tolerate the suffering. This is the end of this chapter 26, and we will now have a pause. It's now 18 past 7 till 7:30, and then we will go back to Indra, who is now very disturbed. You will hear about him soon. Thank you.
Maharaj accept that.
Recording in progress.
Hare Krishna. So we will continue with the next chapter after being heard about the feelings and absorption in prema of the coward boys. We will hear now from Lord Indra, who is become very afraid. Lord Indra became so afraid he went to Brahma for advice. And Brahma said, go to see Krishna, but bring with you Surabhi, because Krishna likes the cows. So he went with Surabhi, and Surabhi spoke first, and then King Indra spoke to Krishna. And then Krishna replied. But that all happened in a solitary place. So it was only Krishna who saw them. So we will first hear the chapter summary. Can someone read the chapter summary, please?
This chapter describes how the Surabhi cow and Indra, having seen the amazing power of Lord Shri Krishna performing a bathing ceremony for him, ashamed of having attacked Vrindavan with a violent storm, Indra secretly came before Lord Krishna, offered obeisances and praised him. Indra stated that although Sri Krishna is never caught in the current of material illusion, which is born of ignorance, he nevertheless accepts a human-like body and performs various activities to establish religious principles and chastise the wicked. By his means, he crushes the false prestige of those who presume themselves great controllers. Indra went on to declare that Krishna is the Father, Guru, and the Lord of all living entities, and that is in the form of time, he is the agent of their punishment. Satisfied with Indra's prayers, Sri Krishna told him that he had stopped the Indra Yagna so that Indra puffed up as he was with false pride, would remember the Lord. Persons intoxicated by material opulence never see him standing before them with the rod of punishment in his hand. Therefore, if the Lord Krishna desired the actual good fortune of some person, he brings him down from his position of opulence. Lord Krishna ordered Indra to return to his proper position in heaven and to serve there without egotism. Indra, along with the cow Surabhi, then performed a bathing ceremony for Krishna using the water of the heavenly Ganges and the milk of Mother Surabhi. Indra and the cow took this opportunity to bestow upon the Lord the name Govinda, and the demigod showered flowers and recited various prayers.
So Indra is a devotee of Krishna and wants to serve Krishna, but he has also material desires. He's not a pure devotee, because if he would have been a pure devotee, he would not be in Svarga but in Vaikuntha. So yes, and if one has material desires, there is always some form of pride. But now he took excessive measures, is pride. If pride is in the heart, then we forget Krishna. Because then we forget that we are not factually the doer, or not the only doer. Then we forget Krishna. And Krishna wants him to remind him of Krishna. That's the purpose of the pastime. Text 1. Can someone read the translation and the purport?
Whoever says After Krishna had lifted Govardhana hill and thus protected the inhabitants of Praja from the terrible rainfall, Surabhi, the mother of the cows, came from her planet to see Krishna. She was accompanied by Indra. Purport. The word Goloka here indicates the living planet called Goloka, which is filled with exceptional cows. Surabhi went joyfully to see Lord Krishna, but Indra went gratefully. As indicated by his verse, Lord Krishna had to adopt extraordinary measures to protect his Vrindavan associates from Indra's magnanimous offensive attack. Suddenly, Indra was ashamed and also nervous about his future. Having acted improperly, he had fearfully gone to seek the shelter of Lord Brahma, who then ordered him to take along Surabhi from the material Goloka planet and go to see Krishna.
So, Brahma advised him you take Surabhi with you. Surabhi from the material Golok planet. There is a material Golok planet of cows. Because there is also the transcendental Golok, Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. And that's also the planets of cows, but transcendental cows. That, okay. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, the Surabhi came on the order of Brahma to bathe Krishna and help Indra. So that was the order of Brahma. You go and do abhishek with your milk. So Surabhi says here, I've been sent by Brahma. So Goloka referred into this verse is a place in Svargaloka. That's where the planet of the cows is. Not the spiritual world. Krishna's Surabhis from the spiritual world could not be with Indra in Svargaloka. Shiva Goswami explains more or less the same. He says the spiritual Goloka will be shown at the end of the 28th chapter. Indra came with Surabhi because he knew that Krishna liked cows. Yes, Sumati Vishaki.
Maharaj, is there Goloka in Indralok also? I mean Swarga also?
Yes, that is what explained here. But this Goloka in Svarga is a material planet, and they are heavenly cows, not spiritual cows. That's what explained is. They are still material cows, but heavenly. These Surabhis, they are not the spiritual Surabhis from Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. That's what explained.
It means, Maharaj, when we request for Goloka, then we have to specifically say that Goloka of spiritual world. Sometimes we say that we want to go to Goloka, then we have to add that spiritual world Goloka.
No. You go to the spiritual Goloka when you are Krishna conscious. You go there.
Okay.
That if you are not Krishna conscious and you want to enjoy, you may go to the material Goloka. You have to be careful. But it depends on your consciousness.
Yes, Maharaj.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Maharaj.
So Indra came with Surabhi because he knew that Krishna liked the cows. So Indra is diplomatic because Indra is afraid. That's material consciousness. Means you are afraid to lose something, and therefore you become diplomatic. You are afraid to lose something, and therefore you don't tell the truth to someone. Always reasons, because one is afraid. It is mentioned in verse 21 that they were sent by Brahma. Indra was sent by Brahma. Brahma came with him to Surabhi. Then with Surabhi he came to Vraj on the order of Brahma. The word Shah in this verse means even it was not possible for him to go with her because of his great offense, but still he came since there was no other means of getting relief. They came because Krishna was Swayam Bhagavan, Thus they came to surrender to him. So Indra had to do it out of duty. So the word Eva indicates that Krishna came alone, Indra came alone, without his carrier or associates. No big pump, he came alone. Fearing a great conflict, the sages and the wives of the devatas, they stayed away, far away. So this is details are given by Vaisampayan. Indra saw Krishna, who takes away all suffering, seated at the base of Govardhan. So Krishna was alone. Seeing the indestructible boys shining with great effulgence, wearing coward clothing, Indra had developed love for them. He repeatedly gazed at Krishna, dark like a water-laden cloud, marked with Srivatsa. It should be understood that previously Indra was not able to see Krishna alone, since Indra never went there. So Garuda, best of the birds, who was invisible, gave shade to Krishna with his wings as he sat. You could not see it, but Garuda gave him shade. So when Garuda, who was invisible in the sky, giving shade to Krishna's head with his two wings. So Goloka is a planet above Vaikuntha. It's the planets of cows. That's okay. That's a Goloka Vrindavan in the spiritual world. Above the heavenly planets is Brahmaloka Vaikuntha, worshipped by the Vedas, the sages, and Garuda and others. It is the goal of Shiva, of the liberated souls and the devotees. Above this planet is the planet of cows, protected by the perfect devotees. O Krishna, it is the all-pervading great attained after realization of the Lord. That's the Goloka in the spiritual world. Surabhi is a prototype cow among the chief cows situated in Golok. Indra saw her coming from Golok to Govardhan in joy, because Krishna had protected the cows of her lineage. So a little pride in being a little proud. Yeah. Indra should, of course, that's good to be proud that you are connected with Krishna, with the cows Krishna is protected, which Krishna is protecting. It's not material pride. Indra should not have come, since he was in fear and shame because of his great offense. But even he came to take shelter of Krishna because he is directly Bhagavan. Text 2. That was a long purport. So we will.
Indra was very ashamed of having offended the Lord. Approaching him in a solitary place, Indra fell down and lay his helmet, whose effulgence was as brilliant as sun, upon the Lord's lotus feet. Purport: the specific solitary place where Indra approached Sri Krishna is mentioned by the sage Sri Vaishampayan in the Hari Vamsa, Vishnu Parva 19.3. Sa dardarsho pavisthama ve govardhana shilatale. He saw him, Krishna, sitting at the base of Govardhana hill. From the commentaries of the Acharyas, we understand that Lord Shri Krishna wanted to provide a solitary meeting for Indra so that he would not be further humiliated. Indra came to surrender and beg forgiveness, and the Lord allowed him to do so privately.
So Krishna did not want to humiliate Indra further, and therefore met with him in a private place, Vishwanath, in order to see to what extent the lightning bolts of Indra had broken the back of Govardhan. One morning Krishna went alone there. This was opportunity for Indra to meet him alone. Then from the Harivamsa, Indra saw Krishna seated at the base of the mountain. Surabi had sent Indra with the instructions, go alone without your carrier in a humble mood and of obeisance at Krishna's lotus feet to excuse yourself from the offense. Krishna said, O King of the Devatas, I see that you have unprecedented affection for me. You have come to show mercy to me, who have committed an offense to you for stopping your worship. Jiva Goswami. On the advice of Surabi, that it would be better that he meet Krishna alone in a humble mood, Indra met Krishna alone without her. Another reason was that he was ashamed because he had offended the Lord by bad words and actions. He lay on the ground with his crown touching Krishna's feet. Because of the splendor of his feet, Indra's crown shone like the sun. Sanatana Goswami, having his worship interrupted by the Lord, he touched the feet of the Lord. In coward form, with his crown, whose effulgence shone far like the sun. This means at a distance he fell on the ground out of shame and fear. Someone can read text 3.
Indra had now heard of and seen the transcendental power of omnipotent Krishna and his false pride in being the Lord of the three worlds was thus defeated. Holding his hands together in supplication, he addressed the Lord as follows. First with his own eyes in the saw the powers of Krishna. Later having understood his offense, in order to find a means of alleviating his offense, he went to Mount Meru, where he heard from Brahma about Krishna's powers.
Yeah, so he went first to Brahma to ask for advice. Though he had a brilliant crown in front of Krishna, whose two tips shone with greater brilliance than a million suns. It was like a firefly in the daylight. Immediately he lost his pride in being master of the three worlds. Or because Krishna's unlimited power, Krishna gave up his pride in ruling the three worlds. Text 4.
King Indra,
Transcendental form, a manifestation of pure goodness, is undistributed by chance, shining with the knowledge and devoid of passion and ignorance. In you does not exist the mighty flow of the modes of material nature, which is based on illusion and ignorance. Purport. The great Bhagavatam commentator Srila Swami has masterfully explained the Sanskrit elements of these profound words. The Sanskrit word dharma has several meanings. One, dwelling place, house, abode, and so on. A favorite thing or person, delight or pleasure. See, the form or appearance, power, strength and majesty, glory, splendor or light. Concerning the first set of meanings, the Vedanta Sutra states that the absolute truth is the source and resting place of all existence. And in the first verse, Bhagavatam, that absolute truth is said to be Krishna. Although Krishna exists, his own dharma or abode called Krishna Loka, he himself is the abode of all existence, as Arjuna confirms in the Bhagavatam Gita, where he addresses Krishna as the Param Dharma, the supreme abode. The very name Krishna indicates that all attractive person and the Lord Krishna, the source of all beauty and pleasure, is certainly the favorite thing or person, delight and pleasure. Ultimately, these terms can refer to only to Krishna. Dharma also refers to form of appearance as Indra offered. Since this offer of prayers, he was in fact directly seeing the form of Krishna before him.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I will continue. As,
Well said.
as clearly explained in the Vedic literature, Lord Krishna's power, strength, majesty, splendor, and effulgence are all contained within his transcendental body, and thus attest to the infinite glories of the Lord. Srila Sridhar Swami has brilliantly summarized all these meanings of the word Dharma by giving the Sanskrit term Svarupa as a synonym. The word Svarupa means one's own form or shape and also one's own condition, character, or nature. Since Lord Krishna, being pure spirit, is non-different from his body, there is absolutely no difference between the Lord and his visible form. By contrast, in this material world, we conditioned souls are all distinctly different from our bodies. Whether those bodies be male, female, black, white, or whatever, all of us are eternal souls, different from our temporary, flimsy bodies. When the word Svarup is applied to us, it is especially indicates our spiritual form, because our own form is in fact our own condition, character, or nature eternally. Thus, the liberated condition in which one's outward form is one's deepest spiritual nature is called Svarup. Primarily, however, this term refers to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. This is all indicated in this verse by the word Stavadam, as explained by Sridhar Swami. Sridhar Swami has explained that here the word Santam means always in the same form. Santam can also mean undisturbed, free from passion, or purified. According to Vedic philosophy, all change in this world is caused by the influence of passion and ignorance. The passionate mode is creative, and the ignorant mode is destructive. Whereas the mode of goodness, sattva, is serene and sustaining. In many ways, this verse emphasizes that Lord Krishna is free from the modes of nature. The words Visuddha Sattvam, Santam, Tvastarajas Tamaskam, and Guna Sampravaho Na Vidyate Te all indicate this. Unlike Krishna, we change one body to another because of our involvement with the modes of nature. The various transformations of material forms are impelled by the modes of nature, which are themselves set in motion by the influence of time. Therefore, one who is free from the material modes of nature is changeless and eternally satisfied in blissful spiritual existence. Thus, the word Santam indicates that the Lord is undisturbed by change, since he is free from the material modes of nature. According to this verse, the powerful flow of the material modes of nature, namely passion, stupidity, and mundane piety, are based on agrahana, which Sridhar Swami has translated as ignorance. Since the Sanskrit root gra means to take, accept, grasp, or comprehend, grana means grasp, exactly in the sense of to grasp an idea or fact. Therefore, agrahana here means one's failure to understand one's spiritual position, and this failure causes one to fall into the violent currents of the material existence. An additional meaning of the word agrahana is derived when it is divided into the compound agrahana. Agra means the first stop or best, and hana means killing. The best part of our existence is the pure soul, which is eternal, in contradiction to the temporary body and mind. Thus one chooses material existence over Krishna consciousness, is in fact killing the best part of himself, the soul, which in its pure states can enjoy Krishna consciousness unlimitedly. Srila Sridhar Swami has translated tapomayam as full of knowledge. The word tapas generally indicates austerity is derived from the Sanskrit verb tap, whose meaning can be summarized as indicating the various functions of the sun. Tap means to burn, to shine, to heat, and so on. The Supreme Lord is eternally perfect, and therefore here tapomayam does not indicate that his transcendental body is meant for austerity, since austerities are performed by conditioned souls to purify themselves or to acquire a particular power. An omnipotent perfect being neither purifies himself nor acquires power, is eternally pure and all-powerful. Therefore, Sridhar Swami has intelligently understood that in this case the word tapas refers to the illuminating function of the sun, and thus indicates that the Lord's self-effulgent body is omniscient. Light is a common symbol of knowledge. The Lord's spiritual effulgence does not merely illuminate physically, as in the case of a candle or a light bulb. More importantly, the Lord's body illuminates our consciousness with perfect knowledge, because the Lord's effulgence is its perfect knowledge. We offer our respectful obeisances to Sridhar Swami and thank him for his enlightening comments on this verse. Now, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he writes, he comments, you know that I was so foolish to stop your worship, and on the pretext of worship of Govardhan enjoy the offerings meant for you. Fearing such words from Krishna, Indra spoke, O Lord, though I am bewildered by your Maya, I now know a little about you by a speck of your mercy. Jiva Goswami, understanding that the Lord was not angry at his offense by seeing his naturally happy face and being relieved, he began to praise Krishna. First he speaks in order to get forgiveness for his offense. You should not be angry with me, since I was bewildered by your Maya and stuck in the material world as a continual offender. So you have a form Dham of Visuddha Sattva, and you have a Visuddha Sattva form, which is self-manifesting, since Visuddha means without material parts, and Sattva means manifestation. You are without agitation, Santam, your form is full of knowledge, Tapomayam. That's from the Vishnu Purana. In you, who are the shelter of all spiritual qualities, exist the energies of Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. In you, who are the void of material qualities, the mixture of happiness and distress found in the material world does not exist. Vishnu Purana 1945. So there are three energies: Ladini, Sandini, and Samvit. That Landini is the spiritual ecstasy, the spiritual pleasure. Sandini is existence. Samvit is cognizance, that existence. Yeah. So the residents of Vrindavan, they wanted only to be in Ladini, in the highest spiritual energy. Sanatana Goswami, understanding that the Lord was not angry at his offense by seeing his naturally happy face and being relieved, he began to praise Krishna. First he speaks in order to get forgiveness for his offense. You should not be angry with me, because I was bewildered by your Maya, stuck in the material world as a continued offender. Though the Devatas are in Sattva, because they and Indra have have the possibility of greed and other bad qualities, the nature of devatas is not described by the term Visuddha Sattva. Visuddha Sattva is purified goodness. There is no tinge of passion or ignorance. But in the material world, Sattva is always influenced by Rajas and Tamas. Visuddha Sattva means the eternal form of bliss arising from the Chit Shakti. This form destroys Rajas and Tamas in your servants because of this Sattva. Your servants have no Rajas and Tamas. So devotees are normally free from Rajas and Tamas when they are advanced. This form, which is directly realized with a series of qualities like compassion, is not made of Maya, since the form exists by your acceptance. O Dham refers to the Lord's abode or village. That place is beyond the gunas, made of Maya, since it is like you. What can I do there? What I've done is a great sin, Indra says. In my heart I had gunas, and thus I had no knowledge of Guru. So, gunas means material consciousness, the being conscious of the material modes, that then one has no knowledge of Krishna. And by that we develop offenses. Can someone read the translation and the purport of text 5?
How then could there exist in you the symptoms of an ignorant person, such as greed, lust, anger, and envy, which are produced by one's previous involvement in material existence, and which cause one to become further entangled in the material existence? And yet, as the Supreme Law, you impose punishment to protect religious principles and curb down the wicked.
Yes.
Purport. This complex philosophical statement by Indra may be analyzed as follows. In the first line of this verse, Indra refers to the main idea expressed at the end of the previous verse, namely that the great currents of material existence, which are based on ignorance, cannot possibly exist within the Supreme Lord. The words Tadhyatavaha and Tatkrataha indicate that something causes the modes of nature to manifest, and that they in turn become the cause of that which caused them. In the second line of this verse, we find that it is material feelings such as greed, lust, envy, and anger that cause the modes of nature to manifest, and that are themselves caused by the modes of nature.
Yes, that material finish. So the explanation of this seeming paradox is as follows. When the conditioned soul decides to associate with the material qualities, it becomes contaminated by these qualities. Because it is pages and pages of purport, we will read only the highlighted sections that contains the essence. I read it before and therefore I have these highlighted sections. Because his mind has been infected by lust, and all that he does, thinks and speaks will be influenced by strong attachment to sex. In other words, by choosing to associate with the lusty qualities of nature, he has caused them too powerfully manifest within himself, and eventually those lusty qualities themselves will cause to accept another material body suitable for affairs governed by those qualities. Thus, to say that one is participating in the modes of nature is to say that one is accepting particular types of body suitable for the particular material qualities one is involved with. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. O Lord, you have no desire to accept the gunas. How then do the effects of the gunas, such as greed, the markings of ignorance, appear within you? How could you stop my worship without these gunas? Without greed and anger, You punish in order to protect Dharma. That Shiva Goswami, if your qualities are not Maya, then what fault is there if you are the cause of Maya? That destroying the wicked in order to protect the devotees is merciful. Because of that punishment, the wicked begin to follow Dharma and they become happy. So that is a good point. Sanatana Goswami, since you are an ocean of good qualities and devoid of faults, you and your devotees have no greed or other bad qualities. Though greed does not exist in you and your servants, it exists in us. You carry out punishment because you are Bhagavan, having appeared to benefit the world. You are directly the Supreme Lord. So you see that Indra is thinking the Supreme Lord is there to punish, that and to rectify us. That there is no feeling of love like the Vrajavasis. That can someone read text 6 and the purport? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, you are the father and spiritual master of this entire universe and also its supreme controller. You are insurmountable time, imposing punishment upon the sinful for their own benefit. Indeed, in your various incarnations selected by your own free will, you act decisively to remove the false pride of those who presume themselves masters of this world.
Yeah.
Purport. The word Hitaya is significant here. Lord Krishna protects religion and chastises the wicked for the benefit of the entire universe. Foolish and faithless pseudo-priests criticize God for punishing the living entities through the actions of nature. But whether Lord Krishna punishes them indirectly through nature or directly in his incarnations, as mentioned here, he has a perfect right to do so because he is the Father, spiritual master, and supreme ruler of the entire universe. Another way, he cuts down the false attempts of the conditioned souls to establish the kingdom of God without God is through his features as insurmountable time. It is said, spare the rod and spoil the child. This is a fact and it is actually the Lord's mercy that he takes the trouble to rectify our misbehavior. Although faithless persons criticize the Lord's fatherly vigilance.
Thank you so much. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Because of your natural mercy, you have affection for those who follow Dharma. But to evil people, you are insurmountable time which purifies them through punishment. Therefore, to give benefit toward both types of people, you perform pastimes through your avatar form that you accept by your independent will. These are the pastimes of killing demons, such as Putana, and protecting the righteous. As well, it is your pastime to deflate the pride of your devotees, such as Brahma, who have become intoxicated with the small power that you give them. Shiva Goswami. You have acted for my benefit. You are the father and teacher. You distribute your colorful pastimes. You destroy pride. This is explicitly mentioned to indicate Indra's extreme pride. Sanatana Goswami. You remove the pride of proud persons, since there is no benefit for the world if its protectors have pride. That though you enact punishment, you are the father and guru. Just as the father gives punishment for the child's benefit, or the guru for the disciple's benefit, or a master for the servant's benefit, or Yama, Kala, gives benefit to all jivas, so you give punishment for the benefit. By experience of hellish punishments, the jivas are cleansed of sin. That is clear in the story of Ajamil. Text 7. Can someone read? Yeah. Read just the translation, not the purport.
Even fools like me, who proudly think themselves universal lords, quickly give up their conceit and directly take to the path of the spiritually progressive when they see you are fearless even in the face of time. Thus you punish the mischievous only to instruct them.
Thank you. So Vishvanacharya Thakur says, among those who think themselves the Lord, I am the lowest. In this mood, Indra speaks. Seeing that you are fearless at the time of fear, during the time of the severe rain, I gave up my false identity as controller. Jiva Goswami, through your pastimes are for giving bliss to the devotees. They are also instruction for the wicked like me. Sanatana Goswami, I perform activities for the pleasure of my devotees, not to break the pride of people like you. That is true. Our pride will be broken by itself. That. Someone read text 8, only the translation.
Because we pride over my ruling power, ignorant of your legacy, I offended you. O Lord, may you forgive me. My intelligence was bewildered, but let my consciousness never again be so impure.
You can also read the purport.
Although Lord Krishna protected the residents of Braja by letting Govardhana in, he had not yet punished Indra himself. And Indra feared that at any moment Sri Krishna might call the son of Vivaswan, Yamaraja, who punishes impudent persons who defy the laws of God. Indra was quite fearful and thus dealt in the Lord's forgiveness on the plea that he could be purified only by Krishna's mercy. That he was too stubborn to learn the good ways and to make punishment. In fact, despite Indra's humility in this case, his heart was not completely purified. Later on, in this canto, you will find that the Lord Krishna once took a Parijata flower from Vishra's kingdom, who Indra again reacted violently with physical presented body. Thus, we should aspire to go back to our eternal home in the kingdom of Krishna and should not become entangled in the imperfect life of the lucrative gods.
So yes, Indra is not completely pure and impurities remain, and later he will make the same mistake again and again. That Vishvanacharya Thakur, Indra does not make this prayer with a complete pure heart, for it shows submissiveness in order to save himself. So there is an agenda. In the 7th verse, he mentions this. Then later, at the time of Krishna stealing the Parijat flower and other pastimes, he again forgets and commits the same mistake. Text 9. Yeah.
He sent into this world, O transcendent Lord, to destroy the warlords who burden the earth and create many terrible disturbances. O Lord, you simultaneously act for the welfare of those who faithfully serve your lotus feet.
Yes. So that this is, yeah, it is this purpose, about poetry and so on, that analyzing the Sanskrit, but we go to Vishwanath. In order to destroy those leaders of the demons who created burden for the earth, and in order to produce auspiciousness for those who serve your feet, you appear, but I'm neither of these. Thus, you neither destroy me nor bestow on me auspiciousness. You are neutral towards me. So, Jiva Goswami, Indra speaks with repentance, showing his knowledge of Krishna's powers and his own foolishness. I know that you have appeared to benefit us because we have requested you to come. But still, I have committed offense. How foolish I am. Therefore you should forgive me. Text 10. Can someone read the translation of text 10?
Obeisance unto you, the Supreme Personal Godhead, the great soul, who are all pervading and who reside in the hearts of all. My obeisances unto you, Krishna, the chief of the Jadu dynasty.
Yes, thank you. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Therefore let me surrender to your lotus feet and offer your respects. That Uddhav says, Krishna is the original Lord. The Lord of Matter and Spirit appears in this world in different avatars as portions of Mahavishnu, who is also his part. Therefore Indra in this verse pays respect to all the Amsa forms which are within Krishna when he appears on earth. That's Jiva Goswami. I offer respects to he who is directly the Supreme Lord, who attracts all hearts by revealing unlimited powers. After describing the external powers, he speaks of the internal powers. I offer respects to the Purush in the heart, full of power, and who dwells in all beings. Text 11. So,
Upon him,
Unto him who assumes transcendental bodies according to the desires of his devotees, unto him whose form is itself pure consciousness, unto him who is everything, who is the seed of everything, and who is the soul of all creatures, I offer my obeisances.
yeah, from the purport, an impersonal God could hardly reciprocate with the personal desires of its devotees, nor could an impersonal God itself have desires, since the desire is characteristic of personality. So Krishna is personal, very personal. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. I pay respects to you who accepts bodies for giving happiness to your devotees with emotions of Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya and Shringar, since you are the object of various types of prema. Being non-material, that body is a pure form beyond Maya. So 12, can someone read translation?
My dear Lord, when my sacrifice was disrupted, I became fiercely angry because of false pride. Thus I tried to destroy your cowherd community with severe rain and wind.
Severe rain and wind. So, oh Indra, you are my pure devotee, you are my devotee. This is from Vishwanath Chakravarti. Oh Indra, you are my devotee. That I can understand from your recitation of praise. But without your permission, your wicked clouds attacked my Vraj. Therefore you should punish them. Fearing such an innocent scolding from Krishna, Indra considered, alas, I cannot be duplicitous with the super soul who knows everything. Therefore he decided to admit that everything was his fault in this verse. So Krishna says, but how it is possible for my devotee to do this? That Indra replied, when my worship was stopped, I became angry. Krishna, though I, your master, stopped your worship, I cannot believe that my servant can do such a thing. Indra, what is not possible out of pride? Krishna, though pride may somehow arise in my devotee, he will remove that with intelligence. But Indra replied, but intense anger destroys even intelligence. That's interesting that this with Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives us an insight what Indra was thinking. That text 13. Yes.
O Lord, you have shown mercy to me by spreading my false pride and defeating my attempt to punish Vrindavana. To you, the Supreme Lord, the spiritual master and Supreme Soul, I have now come for shelter.
Okay. Is submissive, surrendering. So, Vishwanath, though I have caused great disturbance to Vraj, I've received mercy from you, like a sick person getting diagnosed by the doctor. Thus I am now cured of the disease, having given up the urge to release my lightning bolts. Because you control everything, you are the Lord. Because you create a benefit for all, you are a guru. Because you are the object of love, you are Atma. Jiva Goswami says, my pride has completely disappeared since you have destroyed it. And the desire for such acts has also disappeared. And Sukadev Goswami said, thus glorified by Indra, Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, smiled and then spoke to him as follows in a voice resonant like the clouds. So Krishna, the Supreme Lord, was praised by Indra. This suggests that Indra was not very interested in this, that Krishna was not very interested in this insignificant offender. Therefore he spoke in a voice like rumbling clouds. That now Krishna will speak. Can someone read text 15?
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, my dear Indra, it was out of mercy that I stopped the sacrifice meant for you. You were greatly intoxicated by your opulence as king of heaven, and I wanted you to always remember me.
Yeah, so that was the reason. By his pride he had forgotten Krishna. You can also read the purport.
According to Sridhar Swami, Indra and Lord Krishna here exchange a heart-to-heart talk. Indra revealed his mind to the Lord, and now Lord Krishna similarly reveals his own intention. In text 11 of this chapter, Indra in particular declared that Lord Krishna is in fact everything, and thus according to Indra's own criteria, forgetting Lord Krishna is clearly a state of insanity. When the Supreme Lord reminds us of his supreme existence, he is not proudly advertising himself like a modern politician or entertainer. The Lord is self-satisfied in his own infinite existence and is trying lovingly to bring us back to our own perfect existence as his eternal associates. From God's point of view, even the mighty king of heaven, Indra, is a mere child, and a naughty child at that. And thus the Lord, being a caring father, punished his child and brought him back to the sanity of Krishna consciousness.
Because Krishna consciousness is only the sane position. Same position means I'm identifying with my real self, the soul, which is Krishna Das. That otherwise, if one misidentifies with the body, it's insane. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, because Indra spoke with sincerity, Krishna also replied with sincerity. Jiva Goswami, suitable to Krishna's confession in verse 12, Krishna speaks suitably to his powerful position. Destroying your sacrifice was mercy, not cruelty. Though I should be angry at such action, I cannot be angry with a person such as you. I do this so that you could remember me again and again and constantly without interruption. That now we have, okay, I think we will continue next time. with text 16, that and here the last part of Krishna's reply, and then the story of Surabhi doing Abhishek for Krishna, and then we have chapter 28, that Krishna saves his father from the clutches of Varuna. Thank you very much. That I'm looking forward to see you tomorrow. That same time.
Krishna.
Jai,
Hare Krishna.
Jai Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Jai
Hare
Shri
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Ram.